So I wanted to talk to Coach today about how I came into your business. I want you to tell a story about how I came into your business.
Well, the really cool thing about it, all the stories we're hearing in Ambit about successful people. And guys, here's something I want you to know. I consider Derek to be a very, very, very good friend. And 9 years ago, I didn't know Derek existed. But today, I consider him a very, very, very good friend. Not because of any financial return, because we fight the same battles on a daily basis. We're involved with something that's important to both of us for our families. But, I remember 8.5 years ago when I began my business, I made my list. And on my list was a real good friend of mine that coached for many years in this area where I'm at. And then he moved to Colorado. And one day he called me.
Now, Coach, you got to tell him Colorado. We're not in Colorado still.
No.
This is 8 years later.
No, we're not. And he called me one day to just catch up, and he told me that he was considering moving back to Texas because his children had started having grandchildren. They were getting older, and he and his wife wanted to be closer to Tyler to see the grandchildren grow up and be a part of their life. And so he told me he was going to be in town in a couple of weeks. Sure enough, I'm at the gym one Sunday afternoon doing my usual game film breakdown practice schedule. And he calls me and says, "Hey, I'm in town, can I drop by?" And I told him where I was at, and he came by. And our conversation, in the conversation, he asked me my favorite question. "So what have you been up to?" and I gave him my answer. And he said, "Well, how's that going?" And then I gave him my patented answer, which is, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." And I said, "Matter of fact, I'd love to share it with you." Now understand, he lives in Colorado.
Right.
And like Derek said, we're not in Colorado. So I turned around there and I flipped open my laptop and I showed him those videos. Again, I pushed play. It's the easiest thing to do is push play, Derek. Push play. So he sat there and he watched them. And while he was doing it, I was texting the leader to see if they could jump on the phone and answer some questions. And needless to say, he joined. And soon as he joined, he was going back to Colorado. And then he called me on his drive back to Colorado. I remember him saying, "How am I going to get customers?" And I said, "Call your daughter, your son, your Uncle Earl, and your Auntie M. Call the people who know, love, and trust you." And so he did. And his son-in-law wanted in the business. And, a few months later, all of a sudden, his son-in-law visits with his neighbor. And his neighbor takes a look at it, and his neighbor says yes to it, and his neighbor's sitting right here to my right. And this guy's gone and built a huge business because a guy in Colorado reached out to his son-in-law to be a customer, but he wanted to see the business, and he joined him in the business. And it took him a little while to calf rope Derek into actually looking at it, but once Derek saw it, he got it. And then Derek went and blew up a huge business. Derek makes more than the people above him. Again, I just think that's so cool that our compensation plan is set up to be that fair.
It's always to build for the people that work their business the hardest.
It's true.
And that's what we're trying to teach you guys. If you want to grow a great business, let's grow it faster. Home meetings, the things that you can do that propel you to the next step of growing your Ambit business. Yeah. They truly do help, Coach. Man, I appreciate you telling how I came into your business line. I always like to think about if he would have just said, "Hey man, that guy's in Colorado, he can't help my business grow," and didn't make that contact, man, my life truly would be different. I would probably be without a home, and heck, usually when you lose a home, you lose a wife, and then just financial strain is very hard on a marriage, and without that him calling Mike and spreading this business to him, this would have never happened for me. So this is truly a gift, guys. Go out and do with what you can with it. Show everybody the plan that you can think of. Don't hold it from anyone, because you never know the Derek White that you're leaving out. So appreciate you guys for watching. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching the Ambit Gift.